Hello, and welcome back here for the third game of the night. It's going to be Curse Academy taking on email support as we get loaded into the Picks and Bands lobby. I am EGAD, and joining me here is Studio for what is going to be an excellent Game 3 after the last two hype matches that we've had today. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, and I'm excited to see if the hype train can continue, because email support, they're a team that actually, whereas Curse Academy, they were one of the earlier teams that almost took them down when they were, I believe, the one-loss team at #1. So if there's a team that can, show some gumption, try and take down Curse Academy one more time, it's definitely email support.
So yeah, we're in Picks and Bands right now. The screen hasn't really swapped over just yet. There we go. And it will be Thresh Karthus away from Azingi and Dumore, who is Adrian?
Adrian.
They want us to call him Zig 2 or like Bunny Fufu or something crazy like that. But
Let's just call everybody on email support Zig. Just everyone is a Zig.
Everyone is Zig.
A Ziggy could be a Ziggy instead.
Dragon Zig.
Dragon Zig.
U-Zig or Zigui?
Zigui.
Like
Zigui for sure. Zigui for sure.
Signature will be Zig Zig.
Yeah,
Zigzag.
Just extra zigs on signature. Anyhow, going to the bands, solid bands coming out from Curse Academy. Thresh, of course, at dominant support. Karthus being banned up versus a Ziggy, and Jungle Pantheon is a monster. So banning that sucker is not a bad idea if you don't plan to first pick him.
Even though he wanted to be a baker, now he's just seeing the band slot all the time. LeBlanc, Lulu.
If he wants to be a baker, he's always banned. Now he can become a baker. There you go. He's got a lot of free time.
I wonder what Cassidy does in his band time. Just sits there. He's like,
I wonder if female support is actually wondering whether or not to ban Cassidy.
They're not going to.
And this is the champion that crushed them last time they played. But it wasn't until the mid-game. It wasn't until the 30, 40-minute mark that Duosa was really able to get out of control. So they have dealt with him before. The early game on Cassidy is now weaker. He still can, of course, go completely insane and destroy a team. But I don't know. The email support, can they maintain that early game pressure like they did last time?
I'm pretty sure they're like, oh, Cassidy, he's a champion.
Well, no, they spent so much time on that last ban that they were talking that one over.
I guess. They're like, yeah, we don't want to have a lease for Pat, so they take that one away. What is the response? So Yasuo is open. They could like to go for that one. But, late game, you're still an 80, not bruiser, because you always have, the IE, Last Whisper, and the Static Shiv, and you just get two-shot anyway.
You're more of an 80 caster, and that's the issue. You still need your spells.
So,
it's kind of the same issue Zed has. Zed will destroy Cassidy in lane, but eventually, late game, Cassidy just shows up no sphere. Zed's like, I can't do anything because I'm not in range, and you're killing me, and I'm dead.
I can't do anything. I'm silenced. Help! And Talon's not a bad response either, but, he filters off too, so it's going to be Renekton for Dragon Raider, as well as Lee Sin for Zingy. Looking for possibly a safe lane for bot lane for Curse. Could be that Annie, Caitlyn. I don't expect Blitzcrank. We haven't seen Blitzcrank in forever. It's usually been Thresh. And, Annie and Leona, the trifecta, just going around in a circle. So it's going to be Annie. There it is. All right. So not too bad there. We could see the Zig, the Lucian Leona lane for the side of email support if they want to go for that one. That seems to be the response. Or Morgana.
There's Morgana. And Zyra's actually been seeing a lot of play as well, mostly from the diehard Zyra fans. But there's definitely a lot more options now with the changes to the spell usage. It is a lot more aggressive supports that could be becoming more common, especially someone like Morgana, who not really hard to land that damage with Tormental or the Dark Binding because of the range or the big Womp in AoE.
Those chains, so good. Those shackles, excuse me. And with a shield, with the black shield onto Lucian, he can pretty much just run through the whole team. He's got his own dash. It'll negate the silence, maybe a slow if he's lucky, or a stun from Annie. So they're still kind of talking it over. They're maybe like, Black Shield's so good against Kassadin, but there it goes. So I was like, maybe they're
Black
going for
Shield.
Leona.
Black Shield might be that saving grace. The question is, can Dumore or Adrian respond in time? Because you have to have quick reactions if you do not have vision of that Kassadin
It could still be mid.
Gets over the wall. It could be a mid. It could be a mid Morgana.
It's been a long time.
It pops up every now and then. I want to say we saw one either this season or last season. Like it came up once and it did okay, but she had a lot of issues with mobility. And if that is a mid Morgana going up against four very, very mobile champions, I would not want to be.
Black Shield would walk away and be like,
yep,
peace.
Well, it's more like if you walk forward and your soul shackles, they're just like, we're gonna move out of this. Just don't stand down, Morgana. We got this. We'll be okay.
We'll see. We'll see. Looking for the Hecarim possibly for Pat, and I could actually see Aatrox. I almost forgot his name. It's like, what is that champion? Aatrox wouldn't be too bad for Rux, but that Zed makes me question. Would they send that top. They're just
There we-
trolling. It's going to be Kha'Zix's jungle. It's going to be Aatrox's top for Rux.
There we go. Yeah, if it was Zed, then it would most likely be Zed top lane, who loses horribly to Renekton, or Zed jungle, who loses horribly to the jungle, unfortunately. Not one of the safer clears. Though, Aatrox versus Renekton, we've seen that match popping up more and more. Aatrox heavily has a sustain to just not care about Renekton. You have to worry about the burst combo, but because you have that passive, Renekton can't go for his crazy level 3, level 4 turret dives with the help of a jungler anymore. So it's kind of like a safer Mundo in that sense, just because you have you probably won't win the lane early, but you can sure as hell survive. And unlike Mundos that are just getting dove nonstop, he actually fights back.
So he also has that passive too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that passive saves him, luckily.
So it looks like Riven's going to be for Yusui mid. That's going to be pretty much telling Kassadin, I'm going to crush you early, and if I snowball really hard,
we win.
You're not going to have any items, and I'm going to just one-shot you.
We lose. A lot of this matchup will come to whether or not Kassadin can survive mid lane. Yusui can kill Kassadin up and down, left and right, but at the same time, Yusui will be a very, very short range, with a lot of distance closers, of course, Riven versus a Kassadin that will just be out of sight, ganking her nonstop with that Null Sphere. Null Sphere, of course, shuts down Riven really hard because you cannot do anything if your silence is Riven. You have good auto attacks, but that's about it.
All right, so we have the picks and bans done here. All the lineups are set for Curse Academy taking on email support. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have the game loaded up and onto the Rift. But before that, we give a quick shout out to the sponsors down below. You can check out all three. You can see Lowell Class right there being the first one. You get yourself put into a nice little environment with your favorite LCS pro on their favorite champion and your favorite role. And you get the in-depth knowledge that you've always wanted to know on that champion matchups, builds, masteries, and runes, whatever you need. They will tell you. So go check out lowclass.com. There's also a Phoenix Collection. You can check them out at phoenixcollection.com. They have the best and most impeccably crafted peripherals on the market that you can buy. So they have the latest and greatest headset, mouse, keyboard, and mouse pad that you can find on there. And last but not least, Loot Crate.
Yeah, Loot Crate is an awesome service where for $13.37 a month, you will get a crate of loot sent straight to your door that will contain, nerd swag, peripherals, loot, apparel. Always something random, always going to be a bit of a grab bag, but it's a cool surprise, and it's fun to check out. But with that, you know what? We're going to go into a quick commercial break, but when we come back here at the North American Challenger League, we're going to have Curse Academy taking on email support.
¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Okay, sí. Same.
Nice try.
Same. haha.
Nice try. Doesn't work
That's
for
the
us
extent
today.
of my Spanish anymore. But we're not here with 7 Wars Leon. We're here with Curse Academy and email support for the third game of tonight. I'm Egan, and joining me here in studio, and could potentially be a invade here from email support. Or actually for both sides.
Are they just going to do this is going to be Season 2, Season 3 shenanigans if they just kind of walk on past each other. At that point, you'd expect wards to go down. Not going to happen with no one really carrying any wards. But yeah, they're just going to miss each other.
Binding comes out, does not find a mark, but they'll go in, know that the brush is clear, and they're kind of just sitting on the
Wait a
opposite sides
second.
of each other.
Does Curse Academy expect the invade?
Oh, maybe.
They're not getting spotted out there. They're not getting pinged out.
I don't know. You can't really see anybody around that side from the tri-brush where Curse Academy is sitting. Now the binding comes through, they don't find anybody, and they're going to mosey on their way down. If they go to exit by golems, they're going to run into a full 5v5 fight. Very, very good patience coming in from Curse Academy. Not to move. Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Okay, so they
Oh,
might have spot the
doesn't
binding.
connect. They're going to see Mash Me, though, and they're going to try to bait this one out. Annie doesn't have stun,
this
though.
is so good.
Annie
This is
doesn't
so
have
good.
stun. Annie does not have stun. Oh, she does. Just kidding.
She does. Yeah, there
I
we
didn't
go.
see the swirling. But they ping on that brush. It looks like they're going to go face checking now.
Wait,
it's
maybe-
the game of chicken.
Wait, maybe they didn't actually spot them in the brush. They should have been able to barely see Mash Me, but the
They
angle
saw
could have
Mash
been-
Me and Pat, and then they both walked
Huh.
into the tri-brush, so they expected them to be waiting their bait, I guess. So I guess smart mind games from technically both sides.
They do get a lot of actually, look at the trinkets being used on both sides. They both just completely spam out the wards. There will be some good vision coverage on the red buff for Curse Academy, so a little bit of extra knowledge going towards
That was weird.
email support. My guess is that Curse Academy's seen them do this before, especially with that Morgana start, and they just anticipated that because that was both sides were very, very on point for their plans. Like they knew that was an invade coming out.
I really, if Mashme just wasn't waiting outside that brush, they would have been able to bait it out and just stick there and get like a 5-man anti-stun and have the most early aggressive 5v5 ever at level 1. But either way, they hold back, and junglers are safe. Every lane is safe so far. A little bit of poke on the bot. Do more getting poked out there by that Annie. The range, so annoying. Zeket knows how to abuse it.
Yeah, of course, Morgana does have a short-range auto attack. Does have the bind and decent base auto attack damage, but these trades, this is, of course, long range support and AD carry going up against short range. Morgana just cannot do anything with it besides tossing out bindings. And Lucian, you really need level 2 to get that really solid burst down. So just incredible lane for both right now coming out of Curse Academy.
All right, and now the buffs are finished. Every jungler has their doubles. Could look to make those first ganks of the game come out. With an overextending bot lane, it could look a little juicy for Zingy if he wants to go around and be sneaky. Looking like he's trying to get level 4 and then possibly head down there, get a black shield, run through the stun and the traps if he can, and try to get that one. While Pat kind of hanging around towards top, going to get 4 off that white, and then possibly go back and heal a little low on health and mana.
Of course, something really nice about Morgana versus Annie is that you really have to blow 2 spells above the black shield, so Annie doesn't get a stun off because you're going to put everything on cooldown. Caitlyn, of course, can't put down a trap or land the net, but the nets are escape and the trap is not reliable.
Pat just leaped through the Baron pit to go gank up top, so trying to avoid all the ward vision. We're going to see a ward get dropped down in the river, though, from Dragon Raider.
Oh, that's just going to make him more confident.
Oh, no. So he's going to go forward, look for the call to make. He's going to see Pat get slowed up by the spikes and get knocked up as well by that Dark Flight. Slicing and dicing through, flashes forward. Will Pat be able to pick it up? Stun on the turret. Ignite comes out, and it will be the Ignite. Pick up the counter go. Oh, and he also gets the passive from Aatrox, but that's first blood over to Rux. Taking down Dragon Raider just barely. And they lose the double buffs on Pat, and they also lose the passive on Aatrox, so that's 5 minutes without that one. And no summoners, that could be a Zingy coming up top next.
That's actually kind of huge. That might be in favor of email support because that was before the 4-minute mark.
Yep.
That was before the massive spike in gold. If you look at the gold difference, it's even. So they blow long cooldowns. They've taken out 2 flashes. This is actually really in favor of email support if a Zingy can convert that to more kills.
Yeah, so let's see if we can capitalize on the mobility that Renekton has up top to try to catch down Rux. And with the first back, it's double longsword for Dragon Raider. Surprised he didn't go like Vamp or anything crazy like that. I guess he's looking for just going straight Tiamat or maybe early Brutalizer while the Vamp search for Rux.
It could be that he doesn't want to go for any sort of longer delayed item, just trying to win the early game now, since Aatrox has so much good sustain. He wants to try and stay ahead of him as much as possible. Kazakh's in the bottom part of the map. you know, looking for that gank. There is a ward put down. He will back on out. You can see Yasui going for the Kassadin pressure. Kassadin doing okay in CS, down by about 13, but
that's usual.
Yeah, he never really gets that much of a lead anyways, and in general versus a Riven, the fact that he's not dying is actually more important than getting a lot of CS.
All right, so the one key thing as a Kassadin to know, just never die. Just don't die in lane, you're fine.
Like, all right, if you're going to take a lot of damage for that last hit, don't get the last hit.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's okay.
The
other
XP.
guy has to do it. The other guy has to get all the last hits. If you miss some last hits, whatever, you'll hit level 6, you can roam, you can gank, you can split push later on.
He's running teleport too.
Yeah. So he's not looking for those kills. I would not expect a lot of aggression mid lane, just because Kassadin, he is weaker early on. He is not, unless Yasui takes a lot of incidental damage, there's not really a good gank setup too, because it's going to be a very mobile Riven running away from essentially the silence as the only form of good CC.
Pat's kind of heading up top again, maybe looking to make another play on Dragon Raider. We'll get spotted out by a ward. Dragon Raider is going to call Meek. He's going to try to bait him over to his teammate. Azingi coming in, safeguarding, going to get the Tempest Cripple, as well as a double knockup from that Dark Flight. He's slicing the dice as his way out, though. Going to pick up Pat. Can he pick up Rux, though, is the question. No, he gives up on that chase. Duosec not level 6, not able to close that gap, and that will be the nice 1 for none, with Azingi picking up that kill and a good juke away from Dragon Raider.
A great reversal call, a great pickup as my microphone muted. And that was just solid baiting into the river. They could have stayed for the aggression. They were looking for maybe some extra damage, a possible pickoff, but the second that a Duosec showed his face and that he wasn't in mid anymore, it was a good disengage. And of course, Duosec not being level 6, part of that's from the Yasui pressure and the constant pushing, and that actually saved their bacon, because if Duosec had been level 6, that was going to be an easy double kill with that Kassadin rundown.
And now Able Support looking a little bit better now. They have Azingi kind of rushing the boots mobility. He also picked up a Madra's Razor. I don't think he's going to go for
the full-on Wriggles?
the Wriggles. I don't feel like he's going to do that. But if he does, then maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe a new build coming in. Waiting for the Wriggles change, possibly. We do see a trap connected to 2 more. He's going to get poked out by Zekent, and maybe looking for a binding to make a play, while Yasui and Duosec go at it in the mid lane. Duosec kind of winning out there. He got a lot of sustain at this point.
Well, it looks like well, actually, yeah, neither mid lane has gone back. This is just kind of the overtime harass, those occasional null spheres kind of balancing it out. Riven has 1,800 gold, though, to spend. Kassadin about 1,500. So he can go back by something like a Catalyst. He can go back by a tier if he wants to. He has his options, but doesn't have a full item completed, while Riven's going to be really close to that TMF.
We see both the top laners kind of low. With that burst of HP, you know that Dragon Raider gets the Renekton and Dominus. Could it be something that's scaring Rux away from going all in? While there's a ward that's pinged out, Azingi maybe looking for another route to try to gank down bot lane. Has the Q ready, if anything. And
He's looking for it.
He will get spotted out.
Now there's a ping onto him, goes right by a ward, mash me, and Zeke's going to back on out, stay extra safe. He could try and land a kick right now, but that's risky, and he's not exactly the tankiest champion. You usually need a little bit more mitigation before you go for the all-in plays. This Dumore is going to take a nice little bit of harass right there.
Alright, so back out through the pool, get that nice little Frostfang activation there, or the Spolthy's Edge activation. And we do see Azingi now coming back in. Tempest Cripple comes out. He gets the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, but a nice flash from Zekent and a good stun as well after that kick. And now Duosec roam down as well, looking for one. And it's the Flash Net 90 caliber net and auto attack from Kassadin. That's rare to see. Pick up the kill for him and let the snowball start now.
It might be happening. It might be happening.
Slow snowball.
It's always more of a slow ball instead of the snowball with Kassadin just building it up over time, kill by kill. That is a long cooldown used by the teleport. Yasui in mid lane going to be a-okay. Kassadin not really deciding to go for the all-in, as even with Pateau nearby, the Azingi pressure and the fact that Yasui will do 1 billion damage with his ultimate is a little bit scary.
I wonder if he's going to go for the greedy build in the tier next. He drops a pink ward to be able to clear out that ward. Looks for possibly tier, then goes Rod of Ages.
I could see that just because he picked up that kill. That's a great balancer. He's still behind in gold compared to Riven, but only by about 250 now, rather than the 500 from before that kill, evening it out quite a bit.
All right, and up top, looks like the Hydra's going to be coming out from Dragon Raider very soon, while Signature getting poked out pretty hard in that bot lane, forced to use the call to clear out. Mashman, though, gets it bound and going to get shackled. Going to turn around looking for Zig. Will he pop the berry, though, is the question. No, he'll save that one, and it will be the Tormented Soil for Do More. Pick up that kill. Wait, did he fail the jump over the wall? No, he was looking for the pink ward. Okay, that's fine. So they could look for a dragon here with, you know, Kate dead, but it looks like they're not going to.
I mean, Lucian's a little bit low on HP. Morgana ultimate is down, so he's not going to be that massively useful. So definitely not the safest option to go for the dragon, especially if something goes wrong. It's just nothing but casting to pick up, nothing but casting and clean up.
All right, and Dominus was used up top there. so he will be staying alive and staying safe for a little bit longer, but they will try to capitalize on that pressure up top, I guess, by going for the Dragon. There is a Cosmic waiting around while Zingy does pick it up, so no Smite Steal, no pressure. They kind of knew that Pat was nowhere near, so they went for it.
Yeah, they had that bit of map control. They knew that Curse Academy just was not in the area to defend it, and that's when it's going for a safe Dragon. Just casting on his own, trying to pick people off. He's going to die. And actually, he might be dying right now.
Tempest Gripple? No, he actually gets behind a Zingy, who was trying to get behind him. He positioned pretty well, but that Rift Walk stopped him from kicking him.
Massive range. It's just, unfortunately, just not far enough for a Zingy.
Is it longer than a Flash?
It's, I believe, a little bit longer than a Flash. Flash has been, I think, nerfed enough times to finally be weaker than Rift Walk in that regard.
And now Binding connects on a Zeke down bot, drops to Tibbers though. Gonna see the Black Shield come in, but a dash forward from Signature. He gets exhausted, looking for one more, finds it. Gonna look for Zingy for the kick, gets the Tempest Gripple, kicks him into the team, and it will be the barrier, but it's not enough, and double kill for Zig.
I gotta give credit to Zig. He is sidestepping the pulled over Peacemakers like crazy. That last kill he got, and the one before it, when it was just Caitlyn, he's been barely surviving, and it's only because he's dodging the pulled over Peacemaker. The second one of those hit, and they are kind of hard to dodge if you don't expect it. You will get chunked down. He would have gotten murdered there. It would have been a 1 for 2. But he is dodging those just perfectly. And I really love this pressure from EML support. We saw this last time when they faced the Kassadin. Kassadin, he needs to really kind of farm it up. He's not going to go for the hard roam this game. That's just kind of how Duosec plays him. And EML support punishes that by going aggressive across the map. Ribbon's been farming it up in response. But now all of a sudden Lee Sin is just kind of constantly pressuring bottom. They have Riven roaming to bottom as well, going for that hard push, and Kassadin doesn't have as many options right now. But it's always Kassadin. He is at taking time bomb. If they make one good mistake, that can be it for EML
He's
support.
still 1-0. He hasn't died, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened last time. They were ahead for a significant part of the game, then they goofed up, gave up Baron, and it was over. It was just the Kassadin game at that point.
Kassadin's relying completely on if you mess up. If you mess up, he capitalizes. He can just play safe all day. While, he's not maxing the
Double check that.
wow, he maxed Q first, even with the nerfs.
Yeah, I assume it's just because that is going to be his, I guess, constant form of Riven harass. Riven does spam out a lot of spells, so he will have Force Pulse up constantly.
There's 3 up top right now looking for Rux, though. Zingy comes in with the Safeguard. Dominus is popped, and that passive just instantly goes down. While Yasui connects with the Wind Slash, he was chasing out of the Pat. They find the kill on Rux. Pat actually leaps and looks like flashes away. Duosec comes in from the side. Looking to get him is Yasui finding the kill on Pat. He does, while Duosec now does not find the kill on a Zingy. Oh, there's a ward in that brush, though. They're going to dive him. Can he actually get out safely? He has Flash. Here comes the stun. Oh, no, Ignite. He tries it, but he gets the fancy play. He gets 1 kill for 3. So there's his first death, but that's his second kill. And with the ZK coming up top here, he'll be able to fend them off from pushing the turret. It's a very scary little girl, but the tier 2 down bot may fall.
And that was that EML support pressure. They try to, Curse Academy tries to play a landing game, and they just go for that constant gank, go for that constant pressure. Normally, Kassadin would be awesome in that situation, coming for the cleanup, but just because they stack the odds in their favor so hard by sending 3 members top like that, it's just too late, too little for Kassadin. He does not use a teleport, so he could not arrive ASAP, unfortunately. But it's a little bit, I don't know. I'm scared of the Kassadin. He now has Rod of Ages. He did not go for the tier, so it's a delayed build. He's going to be weaker for a lot longer because he's not scaling up properly. So I'm hoping that just maybe Kassadin will lose, because the last time EML support played this, it was that turnaround for 40 minutes in. It just crushed them. Still, though, ahead by 5K. They can keep going for that pressure. Dragon should be theirs pretty much the next time it spawns as well, as long as they don't give up too many objectives. And they just have to keep applying that pressure, make sure that they don't go for the late game.
Yeah. So as they look for Rux down here, he gets bound up. Yasui's there. He's going to stun him up. The trap is not going to be enough to stop him. Oh, Dark Flight comes through over the wall. Looks like he's actually able to get out with a flash, too. I thought he was just dead. Teleport comes through from Duosec as well. Looks like all 5 members are towards that bot lane. That's going to free up a tier 1 up top. And they're going to look for possibly a tier 1 down bot here. Sonic Wave connects. Gets silenced up, though. But with the wave clear, Riven and Lucian have, they'll be able to defend this turret for a little bit longer. And but now we see the timer on Dragon. So 1:40 for that one. Good look to start prepping for that.
Yeah, go ahead, toss down the wards, clear out any wards that your opponents might have. Duosec himself in the area. Of course, hard to kind of pick off that cast, and even he does land that Sonic Wave. Leeson can follow, but where he ends up going is not really at his disposal. And with Connected pushing in top lane,
Ooh, found a blue. Nice steal. Denies it from Duosec.
Curse Academy right now, they have to make a decision. Dragon's going to be up in a minute. Do they try and clear out the wards? If so, they're walking into all the email support. They have a big wave up top, so if Rux abandons that, he's going to fall even further behind that Renekton, which now has a 50 CS lead. We haven't really looked at top lane that much outside of ganks, but Renekton's really snowballed this off, and Rux he's struggling to stay relevant. Aatrox, you do not want to be behind him just because he's so reliant on auto attacks that you need decent attack speed, you need decent tank ability to actually get those auto attacks off, and you need levels, more importantly, to really emphasize both his slow and his proc damage from his W.
True that. And the turret in the mid lane, very low. Could like to see a push come in from Yusui and maybe some others to take that one out. While kind of look at the items, Hydra opposed to Cutlass and Giant Spell for Rux. So a ton of damage coming in from Dragon Raider at this point. And just completely outshoving Rux. And Brutalizer, Vamp Sitter for Yusui. Looking for the possible BT next here. As Dumar comes in, gonna get slowed up. Actually, no, the Black Shield. There's a bunch of people coming in. Flash Stun comes in for Zeke, and a bunch of damage goes down. Dumar, can he get out? No, he does not have Flash or Shackles. So nice little pick out there. Gets Rux a kill.
And Dragon's up in 5 seconds. So Curse Academy know this. They were around when Dragon got killed last time. They have that one-member advantage. No ultimates being burned either. Out comes the Coley. Actually does some decent damage, but now Zeke got kind of caught out.
He's going to be slowed up, too. They do miss the ultimate from Rux there. They do find a Sonic Wave. Dragon Raider could go in. Does a ton of damage. That Dominus is going to scare them away for a little bit. They clear out some wards. And without the color, they lose a little bit of pressure, but there's still a Tibbers available for Annie. Morgana's up too, so making her way down.
Zig is so low. That's the issue, because Kaz can just pick him off even without the Ignite. But Kaz low on mana himself because he got denied that blue buff. Renekton stealing that blue buff actually might protect the Dragon in favor of email support, because Duosec, he just doesn't have enough mana to really get in, get out.
Very smart play too by email support. They send Zig mid to push down the rest of that tier 1 turret. They should be able to snag that one away. 4-0 in turrets at this point, as well as forcing them off the Dragon and securing themselves some more map pressure.
And he's back at full HP from all his life steal too. Just fantastic rotation.
All right, now they're going to threaten the Dragon here. Sonic Wave, Resonant Strike over the wall before the Annie can stun him up. So he will be able to make it out. And that should be their second Dragon of the game, excuse me. But a Force Flash out from Zig now, trying to get away, gets stunned up, but he may end up dying as they get the Dragon from the team. And there it is. They do find a binding. They're looking for Shackles on their 3. Sonic Safeguard comes in. He does stun up 1, but that's Rux. He's going to res right after that. Ignite comes out, though. Yusui stuns up, finds the kill on Mastery. Rux ends up dying. They will find that one onto do more on that Morgana. So that's a 3 for 1, as well as a Dragon and another turret to them. So really, I mean, crisp play.
That was crisp. That was clean. That was a massive team fight, but it was just such a rollover for email support because, I mean, Curse Academy, they went all in with that chase onto Zig. They had no mobility left except for Duosec, who did end up surviving that fight. And it was just cleanup because they were all clumped up, all grouped together. That fantastic Soul Shackles from Duomore set up both Renekton's AoE and Riven's AoE. Like, a lot of people got hit by the Broken Wings as well as the Cold, the Meek, and Ravenous Hydra from Renekton. And you don't really think about Riven as a massive AoE champion, but when you do get into a team fight like that where there are 3 people getting hit by Broken Wings, that damage is insane. Yeah. You will win the fight almost on your... They almost didn't need Lee Sin to be there to win that fight. That's how damaging Riven is in this situation. So now, I mean, he's going to get a little bit of damage. His recall is top, but this is 9,000 gold. Email support should take this game, but there's always that Cassidon risk. There's always that chance that you goof up, Cassidon gets those double kills, and all of a sudden, just you're pressured in. You lose your map control. Your supports are getting picked off, and it just all goes to hell.
It's kind of hard to pick up on Morgana either way. You know, all the damage that Duosec does is magic damage, so Black Shield going to be key here. I wonder if he's actually maxing it. Let's find out here. No, maxing Q, and then Black Shield second, so.
Yeah, of course, Tormented Soil. I love the spell, but not exactly the best max as a support. Even second, I believe, since it doesn't reduce magic resist anymore, it's even less worthwhile.
Actually, they changed the percentage damage, didn't they, or something crazy?
They do. It's it scales based off missing health percentage, but it's not percentage damage, so it's still not that reliable to level either way. The Black Shield, though, leveling it up, it has pretty decent base value. I'm gonna look at it right now. So even though Morgana only has 25 AP, the Black Shield is still blocking about 170 damage, which is only going to be maybe one casting spell when a target doesn't have a lot of magic resist. With someone like Renekton, who does have the Mercury Presence, should eventually get a little bit more magic resist. That can actually be huge. That can be enough to block 2 spells from casting.
Speaking of blocking spells, the Safeguard stops that little slow out from Duosec. They have a pink ward placed at the blue as well, clearing out the wards there, making sure that they can apply pressure to this one. They do not find a binding. Blue buff has spawned Rux at the time for his team there. So this may be a nice little battle for the blue buff to deny it away from Duosec. It's key that he does not get those. If email support can keep denying them those, he cannot last in extended fights. So looks like Sonic Wave comes through. Is he going to Resonating Strike over? No, he does not. Maybe looking for a Safeguard into a Smite? No, Smite from Pat gets it. Dominus has popped out there. Black Shield. You cannot stop this Crocodile. He's going all the way, and Mashmi gets taken out by Zig. So they find one, looking for two possibly. No binding comes out though, and they will take that one kill as well as possibly a turret up here.
Right, they could go for this. Will the binding land? That's the question. If binding lands on anybody, even Duosec, they're going down at this point. Rux doesn't have the passive. Zegant might be the one person who can actually survive if he doesn't get stunned up right afterwards.
All right, so spell immune binding, but no one to dive in on Duosec.
No minions, unfortunately.
Yeah, the push is going to be halted for a little bit longer, as they might just back out here. Possibly go back to base and spend. They don't have really all that much gold at this point. Only 1,600 on the jungler, 1,300 on Zig.
It's some decent cash to spend. I believe that might be the finished Phantom Dancer now on Zig going back to base. That was a really solid engagement. They're really kind of punishing Duosec going for that blue buff by taking the blue buff, but also in that fight you can watch how they kind of stall that out. That was a long time before that blue buff died, and Duosec ended up spending a lot of mana himself just trying to posture and position himself to actually make it up. But the fight starts. He has cooldowns already used. He doesn't have that much mana to go for a sustained fight. Curse Academy, they're already behind by a ton of gold, and their casting was essentially worthless at the beginning of the fight. So it's really good kind of, not just fight management and objective management, but combining the two. So Curse Academy's always at a disadvantage. I gotta say, I really do love the Dominus Gator with Black Shield on, because that Black Shield is massive. That's just gotta be intimidating to go up against.
It's like, I can't net him to slow him, I can't do anything, so.
And he's huge.
Mm-hmm. Need a Wild Growth with that one too, so that's a pretty cool combination. Get Black Shield, Wild Growth, help picks.
Just a massive Renekton, just killing everybody left and right. But with this gold lead, there is, I guess, one outer turret left right now for Curse Academy, gonna be that top turret. They can try and set their sights onto the turrets, but I can see that email support does not want to go risking any sort of super aggressive dive unless they know they're going to just completely dominate it. So when it comes to the risk factor, email support's been doing very, very well managing it and not going for anything too crazy. Everything's just kind of been in line. There have been some catch-outs, but nothing like, we're going to go for this horrible dive. Oops, we all died.
Oh no, we've all seemed to have fallen. Damn. But, just I need the last tier 2 up top. Dragons in 30 seconds, they know what's coming up. They have all of them on the point of email support. And Baron's got heavily watered down there by Zekent and everybody else from Curse Academy. So.
And it has to be because this is a 4 AD carry team. Everyone does a lot of damage to Baron. The person who does the least is going to be Morgana, and even Lee Sin that doesn't have a lot of AD, he still chunks it down quite quickly. Yep. So they cannot let Baron stand, because if not, Riven, Renekton, Lucian, it's pretty damn crazy for killing a
killing it too, just destroys that HP. So looking for possibly the turret now, just response for Curse Academy. They hold it off, take their time.
Dragging up now, and it's a safe move for email support. I see where they're not going for the turret. Like, how do they really push? If they group up at the turret, they risk goofing up, getting hit by too big a nanny stun, by an Aatrox stun. Cassidy gets a kill. Game just dies from there. But there's also the fact that their team, it's very, very forward heavy and very melee aggressive. So yeah, Zingy goes in, he can get into a fight. Same thing with Yusui, but if they're pushing a turret, that turret damage stacks up fast, and it's not like right now Yusui's the tankiest champion, and neither is Dragon Raider really. He's got a Randuin, which is nice, but he's not this big, bulky top laner that you see like later on in the game.
Could see a Spear Visage next out of him. And last Whisper finished up there for Yusui. And they're kind of grouping up here again. Going to sweep out a ward. And they have the Oracle's Elixir too for do more. It's going to help him out. And Pat goes in, goes stealth, if anything crazy.
Turret's getting low. This could be their pressure. This could be their push. Go for the turret. Just wipe it out quickly, and if Curse Academy defends, it'll die by the time the fight starts.
Yusui's mid, though. He's kind of pressuring that one, getting the wave pushing. There's a wave building up down bot, too, so that wave from email support is not going to last very long. There's a ping out to mid, possibly going to let Yusui split push against Don't Mash Me, because he could look for that all-in and that one-shot potential onto him. But he's going to deny a red buff away, and not let Mash get that one. So a red buff ribbon, pretty scary. Slows for days. You do not want to run into those. Ooh, binding connects onto the Mash Me there. No Sonic Wave to come through. He was silenced, unfortunately. Black Shield was a little bit mistimed.
he was silenced, and there's always that risk factor. You can actually see Zeke
Whoa.
now. He's going to make a friend.
What are you doing over there?
Unfortunately, Renekton, not a bear, but in a gator. This is going to be rough for Zeke because he doesn't have an escape option. Rando's going to also make this.
Flash, I guess?
He's dead. He is super dead. He is beyond dead right now. Actually, what Chris should do is just push out because that's all he can really do. Zeke had no safe option. But unfortunately, that chase was in the area that Chris Kami's trying to push out in. And you see he's actually pressuring the inhibitor turret bottom.
All right, so he's chunking away ever so slowly, doing a bunch of damage with those autos, making sure it does not get caught out. They hang onto the teleport, but that's going to be Baron now initiated up here. Pat on the other side, though, will spot them out. He's going to possibly drop his ward when it comes out. Yusui keeping the pressure of Duosec, who just freshly used that teleport to get down bodies. Like, oh man, now we're going to walk across the map to help them out with this.
He doesn't have blue buff. He's not going to have mana for this. He cannot get there quickly.
If Pat can actually steal this with a flash and a claws in or a leap or anything,
Pat.
it's all Pat. Here we go. Pat clutch. Looks like he comes in. He gets it. He steals the Baron away and flashes back out while Dumor gets chased down. Curse Academy going to be able to pick up one. Mashme gets the kill while Yasui down bot is dueling out Duosec and Zeken. Cannot find the kill over there. Pat shuts down Dragon Raider and Zeken shuts down Yasui. So that was clutch by Patoster there. And now they're going to pay for it from the side of email support.
We saw this last game.
Oh, no.
Played. It was the same thing, though. It was not Caston picking up the kills, but still the Baron goes down. Unfortunately for email support, Patoster just got those sweet smiting skills. As a Curse always trying to push their jungles to get better at smiting. It's like over time they've actually gotten really good at it.
Yeah.
So this is rough now. They're still behind by 8,000 gold. However, they have Baron buff. It's really hard to play into a Baron buff team. It really kind of makes up for some gold difference. And it's a Caston lineup. Caston, of course, did pick up a kill. Picked up a killing spree, actually, on a Riven, which evens it out quite a bit more. Luckily, Dope Mashry does not have that much gold. He is 143, not many kills. He's a little bit behind. Actually, a whole item behind Lucian right now. So Caitlyn's not this big, scary threat. And Caston, because he got that tier so late, let's check how much mana it's at. He's at currently 332 mana.
Half.
So even though this is a Baron being lost, there is a bigger goal difference than last game, even after all these turrets have been taken out. And Kassadin is still way behind. He does not have enough mana for his tier. And actually, let's compare some of the gold. For example,
2,000 gold behind.
Yeah, you see he's 2,000 gold behind.
No,
that's rough.
Kassadin
Yeah, Kassadin is. Dragon Raiders quit, which I don't know how I feel about that strategy. Not really solid, so hopefully we can get him back in the game, as he's already reconnected, actually.
So, the DC strat working out for him. And yeah, the slow eventual snowball from Caston could be happening relatively soon. The Baron buff going to keep them strong, but there's an exposed inhibitor bottom. Yasui can pretty much still outduel almost anybody, except for Rux with his passive. Ready comes out. Looks like they're going to start the game again. And we're underway. So, should be fun.
Timer is counting down. I want to see if Morgana can get a Zonia's, because that actually might be the big item they need to secure some of those inhibitor turrets. Because right now, Morgana's a lot of their initiation, but Morgana's not exactly tanky, and she runs into that issue where if she tries to start a fight underneath a turret, especially an inhibitor turret, she goes down. Like, shield will not do anything to stop those big honking shots coming out of those turrets. So that might be the safeguard. I really think email support, even though there is Baron on, I believe, all 5 members or maybe 4 members of Curse Academy, they should still go aggressive. They still have enough of a gold advantage where they can win an engagement, they can win fights. They just have to be smart about it. They have to go for the pickoffs, and hopefully Curse Academy feels a little bit more confident so they can try and punish them for going too far out of their base. Dragon up in 90 seconds, though. It'll be the great equalizer. Well, not the great equalizer, but a nice equalizer if Curse Academy can try and pick that up. And
I'm trying to peek in here out to the Baron buff. How much is of it left? It's about less than half, so
about 1/3 of the way left, so about a good 70 seconds. Won't be up for the Dragon.
And as we look to see in here, just clearing everything out. Possible Dragon for them. A little bit of split pushing coming in from Rux, though. Getting that wave going top.
We'll be leaving the lane now, though. Just doesn't want to outdo his welcome, as things can go terribly wrong. Actually, an inhibitor is down. Bottom part of the map, but the push is going to come out straight. So that the pass push from Yasui, they can just go for this objective. This is the easy-to-get objective. Curse Academy, they do have the Baron for a good 40 seconds. It should still be up if the fight breaks out soon, but regardless, this is going to be a hard push to defend. You can kind of see some posturing coming out from Curse Academy, going straight down mid lane in response. Really email support, they could take the inhibitor off this.
maybe, but it looks like they're actually heading the group up. Do not want to get 5-man push down mid. That's 2 turrets. It's a huge amount of gold they can pick up from that. Looks like they're going to send Ziggy in the front line. He's going to be fine. And that push is going to be halted for a little bit longer. This is the war of attrition, seeing who will bite the gun first or bite the bullet first and go straight into an unwanted team fight as it could turn around horribly for them.
Or the unworded bush.
No, they don't brush, either one. The brush bait, something we've seen a lot of lately. A lot of teams like to make sure that all the wards are cleared out and be like, all right, sit in this brush for like 2 minutes. Someone's going to walk in.
We'll catch one person. Don't worry, they'll be dead long enough to justify it. Dragon does go down in favor of email support. Curse Academy, they actually do have a really strong fighting chance. Cassidy with the death cap down, that's a strong enough build where his damage will be incredibly high, especially versus a lot of the AD focus and less tanky champions. Even Dragon Raider, like he's now tanky, but compared to Riven can get bursted down so easily. Like that's a scary Riven build. It's also the appropriate Riven build, but it's scary because you mess up, you die. And Yusui, you gotta believe in him, but if he does any sort of goof up, because he is a Riven with no defensive items, and it's usually, what, 5th or 6th item, you actually pick up something defensive.
Yeah.
He's not quite there yet, and he will just get destroyed so quickly.
All right, so they're making kind of a desperation play. They're running straight down to this inhibitor, ignoring some of the damage that Pat's going to lay into them, but there's no one really in time to respond to it. It takes about half HP, and they get poked back out. So slowly but surely, they're going to look to push in here. But the Caitlyn range, the Cassidy threat, the threat of a Flash Tibbers coming in is going to possibly scare them and make them falter a little bit. A little bit of poke coming in from Rux, too, on that Aatrox. Binding does not connect.
They're looking for the binding. They're looking for that group up. They're not long range. This is a really all-in style of team, and they have to get into the fight is the issue. They'll win the fight if they get into it, but if not, they can easily get kited out, easily lose before they even really start hitting back.
So they're going to clear out a little bit more of the jungle. A minute and a half on Baron, so probably going to look for some wards over there and try to not get that one stolen away, hopefully.
That's a good strat. Don't let Baron get stolen.
No discredit to Pat. He did a phenomenal play coming in there and stealing that one away.
I mean, that was a leap into the stealth, so I don't know if they had a pink board down.
No,
because if not, they just weren't aware of his presence. And that's still a hard seal, even if they don't. There Yusui actually.
Wow. That was a lot of damage. No shield up either. Oh, millisecond behind.
They could have actually killed him there. It's a scary dive because they weren't sure where the rest of email support was, so it makes sense. But that is how squishy Riven is right now.
Now looking for some pressure possibly on tier 2 here. Aatrox gets some poke out, back out. And so does Curse Academy. Now they're slowly starting to push up. Slowly looking to get their turrets caught up as 6-4 in favor of email support. Yusui's going to deal with the wave up top. They're going to look to actually steal a blue buff away and give it a Duo Sec. I think that's his first one of the game, so we'll see how he uses it.
He can, of course, go for the brush baits and the brush pressure, but Morgana is a little tanky. Actually going for the chase now.
Of Ascension, but Zeke cannot find anything. There's a black shield on Zeke anyway, so he's able to get out. And that's a pretty decent cooldown. Talisman's down. Hey.
Decent chunk of time, not massive. And, of course, Gilmore's black shield now has a relatively short cooldown, as he has to pull a bit of CDR himself. I mean, Duosec's not strong enough to chase down anybody by himself in a burst combo, but maybe for the extended chase, you can actually try and kill someone. Blue buff is being taken and secured.
For email support.
Yeah. They get the blue buff back, but Duosec still has his.
Scary either way. And
it's all posturing at this point. It's all just kind of awkward posturing. No one's confident. That's the issue here. No one's got.
Can we go in? Nah.
Yeah. Well, if we go, if email support goes in, they get kited out. If Curse Academy goes in, then email support is all of a sudden in a team fight, and they're next to each other. And Curse Academy does not want that. You do not want to be next to Yusui ever. Yusui though, going for the Spectre's Cowl, gonna go ahead and build himself up some defense. Banshee's will be huge on him. This is. I mean, it's a stalled out game, but it's just looking for that perfect engage. Whoever wins the next team fight will probably end up taking the game just because of how much pressure and how much momentum they'll gain from it.
Yusui's sneaky, going down bot. Gonna look to possibly pressure the inhibitors. 5 members from Curse Academy over on that Baron side. Duosec going back to base though. Maybe you noticing that Yusui is missing. Maybe try to respond to him.
Duosec can't kill Riven is the issue.
He can try. I think if he kites it right, he could.
He could make the big play. Riven does have the Spectre's Cowl, so that mitigation will be nice, but not massive. So it could also just be like this weird fight where Duosec tries to do damage, and then Riven just lifesteals in response. Oh, that's a Seraph's. That's a Seraph's Embrace finish on Cassidy.
Not yet. It's still Archangel Staff.
Archangel Staff. Oh, I am bad at icons.
It's got about 200 more mana before he can have that shield available to him. And Yasui's still pressuring bot. Mashmi responded to the wave last time. They know he's kind of hanging around towards the base. They know there's some backs. They're going to use that to clear out the wards. Take some time. Try to secure that objective is in their favor and safe. And still, Curse Academy holding out. Mashmi still denying these waves from pushing in. That inhibitor healed up to full. And Yasui is still not leaving that bot lane.
That's going to be the big item this Seraph's Embrace. That could be the turnaround item. That'll be a very, very tanky duo sec with Rod of Ages maxed out at this point. But he needs to go ahead, cast a bunch more spells, keep the blue buff going for him so he can spam out more and more. And actually, you can see now Cassian trying to do out Riven. This is just the most passive game. That's because once a team fight breaks up, neither side is really sure what will happen. Emo Support's team is designed to snowball, and they did snowball, but after losing all that momentum, losing that massive advantage, now having just a big one.
There might be
Rux.
Rux pops the ultimate, goes in onto Dragon Raider, forcing him to slice nice away. Talzwood essentially was popped as well. Dark Flight goes over the wall. Random was open to slow out of Zingy. He gets a nice knockout on Andy to stop him out, but a silence from Duosec will stop him from moving any further. Flash Dippers comes in onto the two members, but Zekem will end up dying for that one. Rux's life is a Bloodwell passive now. Pack goes into the back line, looking to pick up Signature, does find it. There's the Dark Flight to come in, and Rux back for the second coming will be able to find one kill, a double kill over to Duosec now, while Mashmi kites out. Dragon Raider gets the ace in the hole, finds himself a kill, but Yasui threatening to end the game or possibly take a Nexus turret here. He found the inhibitor, but there's no Baron. Actually, Baron going over to Curse Academy here. They're going to 3-man it. Pat is so low.
Oh.
One more Acid Rain actually might end up killing him here. Duosec's getting low too. Rux may end up dying to Yasui, but he's got that random open, slowing out that attack. And there goes Baron, goes in the favor of Curse Academy. That Rux passive was so key.
And of course, Yasui could not push down. Rux just tanky enough. He probably won't win the 1v1, but he can survive long enough so that Yasui cannot just go straight for the turret and take it down. In the end, Curse Academy, they got the Baron buff, but their base is it's shredded now. They have only one working Nexus turret. Going to be constantly pushed in by those bottom lane super minions. That was actually still a close fight for a bit. Had Yasui been there, that would have been a total stomp. They would have not had a chance at Curse Academy.
They're pinging on Yasui right now. He needs to dash over that wall. Okay, he's going to turn in. Look for Pat, get knocked up, get bursted out. Those crits from Mashmi doing a ton of damage, and Yasui, a little too greedy there.
Goal difference now only 4,000. So even though Curse Academy, they lose the base, they have to hold. They can't make a mistake now. But with the way their team is working, with the way Cassian is scaled up, with the way just everything has moved in the past minute or so, they have the game. They just have to kind of survive long enough, and it's going to be so hard for email support to actually burst down Cassian in order to get to those important carries like Caitlyn. Now, Caitlyn is just absolutely devastating compared to Zig, who is unfortunately forced to run quite far away from that scary Kazakhs.
Oh, man. And now 5-1 on Cassidy. He's slowly but surely been biding his time, picking up little side kills, gets a double kill on that big engage up top there. Oh, man. He's building towards a Void Staff next. When he has that item, he's going to be shredding through everybody. And even with the Spear Visage, Yasui not going to be able to do anything against him.
Yeah, this is rough. They need to make a play before that inhibitor comes back up. Once Baron buff falls off, that's when they have to really make an action.
We've kind of seen this a lot out of email support. It's like late game is just not their thing.
It was an okay decision. I could get what they were going for. Riven could have won the game in the time it took for that team fight to really finish off, but they lost the team fight too hard and lost it too quickly. If Kazakh had been taken down before he killed Zig, that was like the key moment. There was a good flash that came out from Bateau, finished off Zig with Cold the Meek, and that just ended everything. Zig couldn't keep kiting out. They had no more range. They had no more chase nor disengage, and it fell apart there. If they could have bursted down Pat, and they were close, Bateau almost died before, as he flashed in to kill Zig. That could have been the turnaround. That could have been delayed. That could have been the game one right there. But it was a risky move. It did not pan out, and well, the punishment for it's quite high.
Oh boy. And now, Curse Academy feeling strong, feeling good, looking to push down mid, possibly go for a tier 2 over there. The Super Minions are still spawning in this bot lane though, so gonna need some attention on that side to stop that push from pushing, or that wave from pushing. The push from pushing, of course, it's gonna push.
Yeah,
push.
Well, they still gotta stop the push from pushing, really. Stop that push and push.
Technically correct there, but there goes Rux, there goes Duosec. They're gonna respond to that wave. That gives a little bit of relief for email support. There's still 4,000 gold ahead, but at this point, I don't think the gold really matters. It's going to come down to the team fighting.
I mean, the old standard way back in, I'd say, Season 2 used to be, if a team is 10% ahead of the enemy team, it's a decent advantage. If not, it doesn't mean a whole lot. And 64,000 is not ahead by 10%. Their team's also much more focused on snowballing so much more than playing the even game. The even game, they never plan to win. That is just, it's not really the email support style in a lot of senses, and it's also just not how you play versus Caston. You don't go for an even, equalized game. Unless Caston is somehow falling behind and someone else carrying really hard for the enemy team. Guardian Angel now finished on Kha'Zix. We haven't really talked about Plateau's damage, but it's pretty damn high. He is not really super decked out. But he does have a lot of burst coming out from the base Kha'Zix damage being already high, and of course, Elder Lizard, Brutalizer, and Last Whisper, just a heavy penetration build with Brutalizer, Last Whisper gives him an incredibly high amount of damage.
All right, tier 2 up top does go down. Nice little play there by email support to take that one out. Looking to pressure possibly and retire up top here, but you know, everyone's there from Cursed Academy besides Duosec, who does have the teleport. If anything, could go into that ward and make it an awkward fight. See a slow come in from Rux, gets a double knock up, and here goes the initiation. Now he goes in with the Rift Walk. Gonna look for a stun to stop him out there. There's the Zanya's Hourglass to keep No Name 2 more alive, while Yasui in the backline pops the ultimate. Double kill for Pat. He's gonna be able to clean up the rest down there. While we do see a Rift Walk from Duosec to pick up 1 kill. It looks like Yasui does find the kill on Pat, shuts him down. Mashmi goes forward with the flash and the barrier. Unfortunately, burned out there, kind of fat faring in that one. But now Duosec, the chase is on, looking for the free kill on Signature if he can. Rift walks over the wall. Gonna look to see him throw out that silence onto Yasui. While he Rift walks into the brush, cannot find the kill. Zig though, gonna fall to Mashmi with 1 simple auto attack. That crit picks up the kill, and the chase is on as Yasui's gonna be the next target here. I don't know, that fight was really sketchy.
They walked into
that
the
decision.
team. That was they've reached a point in Cursed Academy where both Caitlyn and Duosec do enough damage. Joe Mashmi just sat in the back, popped off those crits, did what he needed to do as an AD carry.
Yeah.
And because he was so protected by the hard initiation from Plateau and Rux, and of course Duosec also being an incredible distraction, that it was just an easy one-team fight. This is the issue with Email Support's team. They're still ahead in gold by about 1.7k, but it really means nothing. They're going to need to capitalize on a major mistake, either by Duosec or Cursed Academy, and they need to essentially rush the Nexus afterwards because they do not get a lot of chances with this lineup. They're still ahead in gold, like I said, but you can kind of see once they got initiated on and the fight broke out, how did they get to the back line?
I don't know. I do not know. Oh boy, a minute left on the next 2 objectives to come up there for the Dragon and Baron, and him to respawn points. So that denies all the super minion pressure there. Buffs going to be big for the next fight too. Big items picked up now. We have a Void Step and another Rod picked up by Duosec, looking for Zanya's Hourglass as his final item. That Seraph's Embrace did end up upgrading. Man, this game.
I think it's time for Jungle Warrior on email support. Time to camp a brush because, had that binding land, actually probably would have been able to kill Duosec. He would have been A-okay. So they need to make something happen. They need to go for just a risky, stupid, aggressive play, because risky, stupid, aggressive plays are unexpected, and you can catch out teams just by going for something crazy. Dragon's up in 5, though. They can pick this up safely themselves, but the issue is it's applying a bandage to a bleeding wound. It's not big enough, unfortunately. They need the goal, but they also need to somehow take care of that cast and somehow take care of Don't Mash Me. That's the other option. If you catch out Don't Mash Me, that's huge as well.
All right, so they snag the Dragon. They know Baron's coming up. They may look for a possible pick here in the jungle, but they're getting spotted out by a ward there. Dark Flight from Rux saves him. And they might be trying to just Zerg down this inhibitor. But there will be a response from Cursed Academy as there are wards over there.
I mean, if the inhibitor was down, they could just Zerg down the Nexus, actually.
Yeah.
That could be their strategy. Just screw it, go for it, see what happens. But inhibitor is still up now. They're applying pressure, going for the push. The thing is, you go for the push, Cursed Academy can push back at this point.
Oh boy, so here it comes. It looks like they're going to lay it on the line here for this inhibitor. Not going to pressure any objectives. Do not want to get that stolen away. A bunch of damage goes into the Dragon Raider. Binding almost connecting there. Nice Rift Walk from Duosec, keeps him safe. And can they get some autos onto this Nexus though, and this inhibitor, excuse me? Looks like the answer is no. Signature going to be forced to back out.
Banshee's Veil still up on him though. If
Yeah.
Banshee's Veil goes down, Zig is going to be initiated on
That's
ASAP.
key. That is very
They
key.
cannot lose those Banshee's Veils.
All right, Spike's looking to pop those, but they cannot. And Dragon Raider kind of leading the charge, gets the Black Shield. With no Black Shield on Zig though, that's kind of interesting because he needs the kite.
You can see the wait a second moment from
It's like,
Dragon
wait a
Raider.
minute.
I can't actually go in there because they'll pop it and then Zig is dead.
So seeing some wave clear come through from Mash and from Rux. While they get some auto attacks onto this inhibitor, slows come in and as Zingy gets blown up there. A lot of damage done to him. They forced to back out. They cannot win out on this slow push.
They just can't do it. They don't have enough range. I think they got 1 or 2 auto attacks from Zig on the inhibitor, and then they were already pushed.
Is it time?
Out.
It is time. Brush camp. Dun, dun, dun.
Jungle Warrior. I mean, it doesn't work if you're outside the brush, guys.
Yeah.
I think they realized that it was a silly strategy.
You're like, you know what, guys? What are we doing?
Like, you know, they just won in there. So I would not expect Chris Kemi to walk into that brush immediately. That would be kind of a silly play. So unfortunately, not quite working out.
There's a big wave up top, though. Kind of pushing out. There's Oracle's Lens coming in.
If they see Duosec up there, I mean, well, his teleport just came up like 2 seconds ago. So there goes that strategy of, well, if Duosec's up there might be enough time to Zerg the inhibitor at this point.
That'd be like a repeat of last fight.
I just want to see them Zerg the Nexus right now.
It wouldn't work, unfortunately.
It would not work,
yeah.
no, but it would be fun to see.
Oh, they're all just running in. Oh, and they're all dead. And game's over.
They actually... All right, this is going to sound weird, but I think their one strategy might be to have do more, try and stall out Curse Academy if they go for Baron, and then just Zerg the Nexus at that point. But, like, they need to come up with a creative plan here. They need to catch someone out. They need to do something silly.
Silly plays, often the best plays here. While Dragon Rider and Yasui are dealing with this bot wave, trying to pressure that inhibitor. We do have a teleport coming in. Dominus popped out. Duosec going to be targeted down there, ignited and dropped. A bunch of damage comes in, but Dragon Rider trying to sustain through cannot find it. Rux will fall. Wind Slash comes through. More is actually in the back line. They do get the Mikhails to take off that Shackles, but they do find a kill on Zeke. Yasui finds that one. Pat finds one on Dumore. 2 for 1, actually very close. Rux so low, but Duosec chunking in a bunch of damage. Mashby finds one. Pat finds the reset. Duosec unstoppable. Gets another reset. Flashes forward. Finds Zig, and that's the double kill, and that's the ace, and that is... like that should be game. I guess the Kassadin is huge. 8-1.
He's massive. Like, Duosec there, he survived the fight. He did not actually use a Seraph's Embrace with that initial burst.
Nope.
And that is just how tanky he was. That is how confident Duosec was in that fight, actually. He knew he didn't even need to pop it, as Dragon Raider just did not do enough damage. He did not have enough burst. It was a cool play, like, go for the sudden bait, try to take the teleport out, and just have Dragon Raider burst him down, basically with a little bit of help from Yasui. Because Yasui was too far out, they needed a little bit of follow-up to actually take out Kassadin. It was close. Had they killed Kassadin, they could have won the game. But they didn't kill him the initial push, they didn't kill him the initial burst. Down goes the inhibitor, and down goes the next turret. Curse Academy, fantastic delay from them. Bit of a repeat from last time. It's those Barons, man, those email support can pop from those Barons.
And the Kassadins. We have Dragon Raider coming in, trying to slow down Rux and crew, but it's not going to be enough. And that will be Curse Academy taking the 3rd game of the night and taking down email support. We're going to be going to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the 4th game of the night ready and set up for you guys as Cloud9 HyperX Tempest taking on Cognitive Gaming, or what we think is Cognitive Gaming. And with that, we'll be back.